On this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to make your first $100,000 in real estate media, making photos, videos, 3D tours, floor plans, and more for real estate agents to use to market properties. But not only am I going to show you how to do that, I want to make a challenge to you, which is to try to hit $100,000 in your first 12 months as a real estate photographer. And what I'm not saying here is just get to $8,333 in a month, because that would be $100K over a year. I'm saying go from $0 earned to your first $100,000 total earned within a 12-month calendar period. Now, this is not going to be easy. This is something that takes a lot of effort, but you would be far from the first to do it. Many people have made $100,000 their first year, and I think it's a great goal to shoot for. It's not too small where you don't really have to work, and it's not so big you'd be the only one in human history to do it. And so that's the challenge I want to give you at the start. And if you're someone that's ever spent any time with me, you'll know that anytime we're talking about numbers or things we want to do or goals, I'm always asking how much it costs, and I'm doing the math to try to figure out how to make it possible. So that's the skill I want to teach you on this video. Because if you don't know how many shoots it's going to take, or how long, or how much money you have to earn each day, it's really hard to figure out if you're on track and what even that track would be in the first place. All right, so here we are with $100,000 on the screen, and we're going to start by breaking this down into units of time that'll make it a lot more digestible so you can really figure out what's going on. So first things first, $100,000 a year is $8,333 per month. If we break it down further, I'm using my calculator for this one, 8,333 divided by 4.25, because there's 4.25 weeks in each month. That's going to give us $1,960 per week. If we work 7 days a week, or break it down to that, it's going to be $280 per day. Or let's not break it down by 7, let's do 5 to give you another example. 1960 divided by the amount of business days, it should be 5. Be $392 per 5 days of week. Okay, so that's already starting to probably in your mind give you a little bit more context on what it's going to take. So you need to make about $392 if you're working 5 days a week. Now, if you work weekends sometimes, that's going to help you, but there's also probably some holidays that you're going to be off. And so that's the average that we need to make over a yearly period. And that gives us a lot of information. So, okay, so with that in mind, now let's break that down a little bit further. So if you've been in real estate media for any length of time, you've probably heard of the word average order value, or the metric average order value. Most real estate media companies, at least the metric focused ones, the ones that know that numbers are important, calculate this. And so what this is the amount of money that on average you get paid per shoot. So let's say you do a $100 shoot, a $250 shoot, and a $600 shoot in a month. These need to average to equal, or these will average to equal your AOV. We want our average order value to be 250 or above at the lowest. Now, what you're going to notice is that in some markets, for example, in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, where my business Norman & Young operates, a $275 AOV is pretty good. So in our area, $275, it's a lower cost of living area. If you're shooting in an area with more expensive homes, you're shooting in a lot of areas of California, any coastal markets really, California up the coast. If you're in Florida, if you're in the East Coast, you may see average order values of $500 or more. But the goal here is that you need to be in any market above $250 average order value. If you're higher, awesome. It's going to make it easier, right? So $250. Now, what you probably just saw there is that tells us we need to do a little bit less than 2 shoots per day. So if we divide 392, we'll just do the exact math here, $392 divided by a $250 average order value. Let's see what the math is on that. 392 divided by 250. We need to do 1.57 shoots per business day. Okay, so with that in mind, that's starting to seem probably a little bit more achievable. Now, if you've not been in real estate media yet, this video is more geared towards beginners, but it can help you with your goals at any level by just showing how you break it down, how you figure it out. You may be thinking, how long does a real estate media shoot take? Well, I'll put it this way. A busy real estate photographer that's not working like too much, normal schedule is going to do on a busy day about 4 shoots. So a shoot and a half a day, obviously you can't do half a shoot, but some days are 3 shoots, some days are 1, some days are 2, is going to take you roughly half of a day, half of a working day. So two shoots takes you probably about 4 hours. You give yourself an hour per each shoot and an hour for driving. That sort of depends. Then you come home and theoretically don't have to do much. Some people overcomplicate that part. You can see that you can do that pretty easily. So we know already that to make $100,000, we're not going to need to hire anybody. Like we can absolutely do 1.57 shoots per business day. I didn't finish that all the way. Per business day. Okay. So now you're probably wondering, okay, you kind of get the math. I know how much I need to make per month, per week, whatever. I know average order value numbers. How many clients do I need to have to do this many shoots? Well, it's a little bit different for every business, but one thing I found to be true across the board is I have never seen someone with 100 clients who doesn't make 100K plus. So that's for the most part, a non-negotiable. Now, if they're not active clients, like they stopped using you and you just have them in your list, like that doesn't really count. We need 100 clients, right? In fact, if you get 100 clients, you're gonna have a lot more. What we usually see, just for reference, is the average real estate media company makes $100 to $200 per month per client. Now, this doesn't mean each client is just paying you this much. Some clients will use you many times per month. Other clients are virtually never going to use you. They'll use you a couple times per year, but it's going to average $100 to $200 per month per client. So for the sake of this video, let's just say $150 per month per client. Okay, we can do some math around that, right? So if we have 25 clients, that means we should be making with this calculation, and if you already have a business, you can actually figure out what this is for your business by taking the amount you earn and the total amount of clients. So 25 clients, we're gonna multiply that by 150. That tells us with 25 clients, we should be making $37.50. So we know that we need to make $83.33 to make 100K in revenue. Now, obviously, you're gonna have to make a little bit more if you want this all to be take home, because you're gonna have expenses, some editing costs, roughly 20% when you're solo. So if you're doing it right. Okay, so 50 clients, we'll do the math around that. 50 clients, 50 times 150, that should be around $7,500 per month. 75 clients, let's do the math on that. 75 times 150. 11 to 50. So we know we need somewhere between 50 and 75 clients. Let's see if 60 clients, let's see how much that one is. 60 times 150, 9,000. Okay, so we're somewhere in the range of 55-ish clients to be able to make this much per month. So you can actually take this step further, right? This is a cool thing with breaking it down. I recommend you do this with everything you're trying to accomplish. If you have a business, take it to the next level, whatever, like break this down. Okay, so we know we need, let's call it 60. Let's round up a little bit. Let's make 9,000 a month so our expenses are taken out and we can get, roughly $100,000 a year after that. Obviously, it's going to depend on your exact expenses. So I'm going to go back over to this side a little bit. All right, so we need to get 50 clients. Well, if you're starting to do the Instagram method, you're starting to get clients, like whatever your method of choice is for getting clients. And let's say, so 60 clients is the goal. And let's say you have 10 right now, and every month you've been averaging 3 clients. So you have 10 now, and then you're getting plus 3 clients per month. Well, we could calculate how many clients or how many months it's going to take if we keep this pace, right? So we need to get 50 more because we already have 10. So we're just going to take 50, divide it by 3. So at this rate, it's going to take us 16 months. Now, obviously, that's not going to be enough to hit the $100,000 in year 1 from 0. We're going to need to do a lot more than that. So you can kind of ramp that up. You go, okay, that's 16 months plus, let's see, plus 10 clients per month. That's going to take 5 months, right, to get that. That's more where you need to be, because if you can hit it within 5 months or 6 months to the 8,000 a month range, which is totally possible, by the way. If you can do that, then you have the rest of those months to make above the 8,000, so that way you can end your first year with 100,000. Because this would get us to around $100,000 a year run rate, but not necessarily in the first year, right? Because like if your first month you made $300, like you got to offset that. And so this tells you that. Now, what I would say is you should target 15 clients per month. That's the goal. You actually don't really want to grow faster than that when you're a solo operator. So when we're working with people in coaching, we want them to be between like 10 and 15 new clients per month as their growth rate. Because if you're solo, I mean, if that happens for a year, think about it. You have so many clients, right? I mean, if you're doing 15 new clients per month compounded for a year, so 15, you're not really compounded, but you get the point, 15 times 12, you have 180 clients by the end of the year. That's a lot for a solo operator to service. So you kind of have to like scale immediately, which is okay if that's your goal. But this is what I want you to target if you're trying to do the $100,000 your first year. Preferably like 15, not 10. 10 to 15 is comfortable. 15 is like where you want to push it. So now you kind of know 15 clients per month. Again, you can continue to break this down. If you're seeing that, let's say when you're sending Instagram messages, again, you got to do this right. You can't just go send a bunch and hope it's going to work, but like look at your numbers, right? Let's say you send, a good ratio would be you send 10 messages and over time with a free shoot offer, you get 1 client. Now it's not going to happen immediately, but you send that. Probably your ratio is going to be a little less because you're going to send 10 messages, 10 are going to reply only, out of those 10, maybe half of a person becomes a client. So out of 20 messages, you get 1. You kind of do the math, right? So I'll do it with 20 to make it more realistic. So 20 messages and you get 1 paying client eventually out of that. You can do the math. So if we need 15 clients per month, so it'd be 15 clients and it takes us 20 messages to get a client. We can kind of see how many messages we can get. So at least you get a ballpark, right? 20 times 15. The numbers don't work out perfectly. Sometimes you message 15 people and get 3 or 4 clients. Sometimes you message 30 and get none. If you do enough volume, it averages out. So we know we need to send 300 messages per month. That's honestly pretty high. I think you get away with a little less, but I'm trying to be as conservative as possible with the numbers. So you're not like, what the heck is going on? What did Eli was wrong, right? So 300 messages per month. And then we can break that down, divided by 4.25. This seems math heavy, but I think everybody's kind of following along, right? Like it's not a lot of math. It's just really simple math. I don't like doing anything past division. I don't know what is past it, but anyway, 70 messages per week. So, you could send 10 per day or how many would that be? 14 per business day. Okay, so you could break this down. So now I'm not saying if you just do this, now you have to do this right? And you have to service your clients well so they keep using you. And you have to offer the things that real estate media companies offer to get this. So it's not just like, if you do this for sure, you'll make that, right? You're gonna have to do everything properly. And I make a ton of other videos on that. And if you want one-on-one help, especially if you're just launching your business with this at least, we'd love to help you in our launch program, which if you book a call below, you can talk with my team about. But you need to do this right? And so ultimately, we kind of figured out at the base level how to achieve $100,000 in our first year. It comes out of 14 messages per business day if we do them right. That's cool, right? That makes it a lot more achievable. And so my message is not really this math specifically, although this is great if your goal is trying to make $100,000 your first year. It's more about that anything you want to do in your business. If you already have a business doing $50,000 per month and you want to grow it to 100, you can do this same math. You may have to bring in a little bit more about client churn and stuff like that, but it's still here and it's something you can totally do.